Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Monday Hoops coming up. It's the Brooklyn Nets go.
A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. First for Brooklyn, a big first for this young rookie getting his first starting appearance. And it's Durant, and it's Griffin in at the power forward position. And looking at the Jazz, Conley out there with Mitchell. They've got Gobert. We will see him go to work on that low block. One of the great centers right now in the league. Then it's O'Neal, and it's Bogdanovich in at the four. Now here's Conley. The pass to O'Neal. And Gobert kicks to Bogdanovich. 6 to shoot. And it's Conley penetrating. And that one's good. Conley's got the first points of the night for the Jazz.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll. You know, we talked about the Nets' deliberate pace of play earlier. One of the benefits of playing a slower game is that they rarely were in foul trouble. When you build a team around stars as they have, you want to make sure that they're on the court as much as possible.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. After the miss from Harris. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. Bogdanovich passes to Mitchell. A fader. And it's off the back rim. No good. And as you said about the Nets, Clark, last season, very careful not to get in foul trouble. Very important to a team that depends so heavily on their stars. Steve, to log big minutes and provide the scoring.
And a large part of it is that they just play at a slower pace. But, you know, this team just knows how to win the war of the whistles. Not only did they avoid fouls, but they have guys who know how to draw contact in the lane, get to the line, and put the other team in foul trouble.
He's perfect from the line this time.
You know, you look at the flex offense that Utah utilizes, and it requires that players, one, be versatile and multi-skilled, but also that they have good basketball IQs. You need to be able to screen and read defenses effectively. And that's not easy, but it's certainly a good way to play if you've got the right people.
And Clark, back to that flex offense you were talking about. Some players come into the league with the bad habit of standing around when they don't have the ball. Steve, that's not going to cut it in the flex.
No, it keeps you moving. It keeps the ball going. A lot of screening and cutting. It's a great offense, and it's difficult to cover. But I like what you said. It teaches the young players how to play as well.
You know, Utah usually matches up well with Eastern Conference teams because style of play is similar. Both Eastern Conference and the Jazz like to play a grinded-out physical game. And Utah has the bigs and the defensive mentality to thrive in a slower-paced game. And that's why they went 17-13 against the Eastern Conference.
Now O'Neal. James Harden missing on the three. And stolen by Harris.
Come get it, come get it.
The dish to Griffin. Takes the three. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Griffin's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. On back to the Jazz against the East. Did what they needed to do against the conference as a whole. Winning more than they lost, but they also, Steve, had some key setbacks.
And the big one that I can remember was last year where they had that 4-game road trip to the East Coast. They went 0-4, and that was when they saw their grasp on a playoff spot start to slip away.
Bogdanovich battles through traffic and lays it in. Bogdanovich has got his first basket.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Claxton defended by Gobert. It's rebounded by Bogdanovich.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
You know, that's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit too.
Well, keep an eye on this, Kevin. His ability to double clutch in midair and still make shots is incredible. Just unbelievable body control.
And something else that comes to mind with him is how many guys he's given the poster treatment to. I mean, flying high to power one down while the defender stands there looking for mercy. You know, a lot of things went right for the Nets last season, but one area they struggled in was handling the Western Conference teams. In 30 chances against teams out west, they only won 13 times.
Now, here is Harden. Teardrop shot, and the rejection by Gobert. Here's Mitchell. Kevin Durant with the rebound. And back to the Nets against the West. That number not really what you want if you plan on winning a tough division, Steve, like the Atlantic.
Well, that was the difference last year in terms of who won the Atlantic. The Knicks had a great record against the West, and the Nets did not. So I think to get a high seed, to win their division, the Nets have to have a better record against Western Conference teams this year.
And Utah has possession. After the basket by Brooklyn. Out to Conley. Pass to Mitchell. Clock at 4. It's blocked. Here's Harris. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line. You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year. In 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs, the Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest.
Gets the bucket. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. A 3 from Mills. Shot is no good. And Utah the other way now. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lot for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got out to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. And never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game had a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
2 for 1 chance here.
Yeah, let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
The finger roll finish at the bucket.
Not a really great start for him, as he just isn't shooting the ball that effectively here early on.
Clarkson, defended by Carter. Lays it up and banks it in. 6 points for him.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there. Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Conley left side. Pass to Ingles. Back to Conley. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Clarkson. 1 second left. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Tie game in Utah. And we'll be back. And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And the guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
Well, the thing they tried to establish right away was the presence down low. You look at the points in the paint. I think that's been the difference.
Yeah, and I like the fact, Steve, that they're not settling for the outside shots. I mean, go in there and get what you want. Keep attacking the rim.
The lead changes hands once again. There has been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
Pass to Azubuike. And stolen by Aldridge. And, oh, here we go. Carter's got it in the fast break chance. Millsap. Johnson dishes to Millsap. Back to Johnson. He feeds it to Millsap. Nets passing it around. Carter for 3. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, you hear murmurs that some in the NBA fraternity consider Blake Griffin a little too nice. Their feeling is that if you get physical with him, you can take him out of his game. It's surprising considering his size and strength. Blake said, "I've never really worried about being called soft. If anybody wants to step up and take that challenge, I'm more than happy, off the court, because I don't want to get suspended. And guys, he's too valuable to this team to miss games. But some feel he has to retaliate to let opponents know he means business."
That animosity can stick around, Doris. Tough thing. Thank you.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Now here is Carter. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard.
While never a lock for the playoffs, the Jazz were in the driver's seat for a playoff spot up until the All-Star break last season. However, after the second half kicked up again, they just couldn't beat the teams they needed to and lost a lot of ground, letting the Lakers back in the hunt.
Kevin Durant's checked in for the Nets.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
And the Jazz making a change here. Of course, the Lakers would eventually pass them up during the final days to snag a playoff spot, but Steve, as you said, it was just a poor run of games for the Jazz right after the All-Star break that did them in.
Well, it would have been nice for this young core to gain some valuable playoff experience, but they did pick up a couple of first-round draft picks. They continue to add talent to this deep roster, and I would think it's just a matter of time before they're back in the playoffs again.
Clausen, defended by Carter. Number 7. But they recover it. The pass to Mitchell. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
The Jazz have only one missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
Well, you always hear about how loud this Jazz crowd is at home, and trust me, it is loud. They are a big part of why the Jazz have been so tough at home for so long, but the personnel of the Jazz has had something to do with that as well.
Now here's Johnson. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Hands it from downtown. 15 points in the game. And as you said, the Jazz very tough at home as always, Clark, and 30 wins for them in this building last season, which usually, Steve, is enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. 30 home wins and you don't get in. It just shows you how difficult and how tough the Western Conference was.
Harris is checked in for James Johnson. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now, and that one's good.
I don't know of too many other players, Kevin, who have his level of concentration offensively. He just seems to have that singular focus you need as a shooter. That even if a defender's all over you, you still just lock in and let it go.
Another area where he excels is on one of the most fundamental plays in basketball, the pick and roll. He will lower the boom on the defender with a solid screen and then is terrific at rolling into space and getting the basket.
Utah has gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Passes it to Ingles. Here's Mitchell. A minute 42 left to play here in the second quarter. That is good. 18 points for him.
And he's now made 3 three-pointers in the second quarter. He's rolling.
Nets trail by 3. Carter kicks to Harris. Now the feed to Mills. Lets it go with the 3. Can't get it to go. So Utah will take it the other way. Here's Mitchell, guarded by Harris. Here's Gobert. Second shot opportunity. The shot no good. Aldridge with some nice D. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Here's Carter. Rebounded by Ingles.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They go right in his face.
Mickey.
What a huge play.
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
And why not? I mean, the more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Mills with it, defended by Mitchell. And again, it's the Nets missing. .35 seconds left in the first half. Clausen, guarded by Harris. Here's Gobert, and he uses the glass on the layup. Now it's a 7-point Jazz lead.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them. Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Nice job again that time to add to their lead. I'll tell you what, they're doing everything right at this moment.
They're playing steadily in all aspects of the game, Steve. You're exactly right.
Now here's Durant. Here's Harris. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
And so we wrap up the first half. Jazz lead by 9.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Now let's go straight to the Monday night halftime.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The second half just about to get going here.
The Nets had a really solid debut season in Brooklyn last year. They made the big move in trading for Joe Johnson, but they also made some small adjustments that paid off for him as well.
Now, here is Harden. Feeds to Harris. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Harris has got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Nets. Well, Clark, as you said, a lot of people thought they would just be a top-heavy team with their starters doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But, Steve, they got contributions from all around.
They didn't have big-name players on the bench, but they had some guys like Bloch and Evans who were kind of under the radar, but came in and played very well for this team a year ago. Now, of course, you got big names across the roster for the Nets.
Picked by Griffin. Long range from the inbound. It's rebounded by Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got his 4th rebound in this one. O'Neal with it. Picked up by Harris. And oh, here we go. Harris, nobody back. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Conley, and the layup's good off the glass.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in.
Mike Conley, boy, second in the NBA last season in steals per game, quick feet and quick hands, and a smart defender as well. Make him a pesky guy to deal with at that end of the floor.
Outside Griffin. Here's Durant. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Jazz leading by 8. And for Conley offensively, he doesn't try, Steve, I think, to do too much.
No, in some ways he reminds you of like a possession quarterback.
Ah, nice comparison.
He's going to be steady, do the little things, and let the game come to him, but very capable of making a big play when necessary.
And here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
How about that nice 1-2 punch there, guys? Great defensive play, and of course, it leads to the great basket in transition.
Love the attacking style there, Steve.
Here's Mitchell. He's got 11. Outside Conley. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Conley's got 4 this quarter.
They've done a lot of good work with the ball. Really moving both the ball and moving bodies, getting quality chances at the hoop.
And they're not wasting chances when they get them. I mean, they're hitting their shots.
And that one's good.
Another good pass, and their offensive execution has been impressive, to say the least.
The last 4 field goals have been assisted. Yeah, passing has kept the defense off balance, but to get assists, you got to make the shots.
And Utah, another 3.
And still perfect here in the second half. 4 for 4 from the field.
Nets trail by 9. Harden kicks to Harris. Back to Harden. basket is good. The assist from Harris. And that's now 6 points for James Harden. Pass to Mitchell. Back to Conley. Pass to Mitchell. Clock at 6. And there's the pass to Gobert. Brooklyn with the rebound.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-overs. You got to finish the job.
And it's Harris off the drive. Here's Griffin. Sinks the triple. And now just a 4-point Jazz lead.
They've raised their field goal percentage just above 50% here. They actually look like a totally different team than what we saw in the first half. Much better execution offensively.
Now here's Conley. 9 points in the game so far. He passes it to Mitchell. Passes it to Bogdanovich. Conley left side. Pass to Mitchell. Beyond the arc. And that is good. Mitchell's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's so reliable. You know, his offense seems to be consistently there for this team.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. At this point of the game, always important to stay focused. And while the coach goes over the game plan, these players are getting a much-needed chance to rehydrate and refuel with Gatorade. And guys, we know the drill well. All 3 of us drinking the Gatorade too.
Yeah, no question. Right. I mean, Kevin, people have no idea the fatigue that can set in during a telecast. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated all game long.
Clark, you're always hydrated.
Yeah, I try to be, but it's usually with a combination of H2O and Gatorade.
I love Gatorade. Look at Steve, guys, the Gatorade shirt on.
Yeah, he's really immersed in the Gatorade.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
On the free throw, no good.
You look at Harden's career, he was a gifted scorer at Arizona State, but with a slow start in his rookie season, and playing with 2 of the best players in the league in Oklahoma City, people seem to forget that he's always been a player who can light it up.
Here's Mitchell. He's got 14. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
And James Harden, the first ever draft pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder after the move from Seattle, certainly. To see him go so soon in his NBA career as he was reaching stardom had to be tough for fans, and we know, Clark, certainly for his team.
I agree wholeheartedly there, Kevin. And think of all the fans who wore fake beards on their faces, even buildings in OKC with beards adorning them. So Harden wasn't just a great player, his image was almost a mascot for the team as well.
Well, look at Steve, Clark. He's got the fake Harden beard on right now next to us. I mean, geez.
Fear the beard.
Here's Mitchell. From the line, Durant with the steal. The finish.
Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Wow.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatics.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
Here's Mitchell. And no good trying to get that one. Tie game in Utah. And we're coming. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Utah's gone 6 of 8 on 3-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. Gets the bucket and the foul. It's going to be on James Harden.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
And Brooklyn making a change here. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Jazz.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
Hammers the alley-oop through.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make it a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Here is Harden after the basket by Utah. Outside Durant. No one. Good work defensively by Gay. Here's Clarkson. And Utah, another three.
Well, as long as the threes keep dropping for him, he'll continue firing away.
And they are dropping for him. What a game he's having from deep.
Now, here is Harden. Shot to stop the run. Good.
Yeah, Harden is really an instant offense type guy, Kevin. He's been a role player off the bench the last couple of years, but it seems like he's ready to emerge into a star. He's instant offense when he comes into the game.
And Steve, it's not just because Harden can get hot in a hurry. It's also because he can find ways to get the shots he wants. And he isn't just a catch and shoot guy. He knows when to put it on the floor, create some space, and then pull up for the two. He's also a better passer than advertised.
Here is Durant. After the made shot from Gobert. Durant, the pass to Harden. Rejected by Gobert. Gay outside. That's tipped. Durant with the steal. And Griffin, here we go.
What a throwdown there. Man. Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, it's startling that he'd even try that right now.
O'Neal's checked in for Brooklyn. Conley now comes in for Mitchell. The free throw off from Griffin.
You know, the big knock on Blake Griffin through the beginning of his career is that he struggled with his free throws. He worked at it, and last season had the highest free throw percentage of his career. Well done by Blake. He's got to continue to improve there.
He kicks to Durant. Lee pass was put in just the right spot.
You can always depend on him to put the pass right on the money.
Outside Conley. Right side Conley. Dishes it to O'Neal. Shoots the three. Can't get it to go. Brooklyn trailing. And Mills kicks to Griffin. And again, Brooklyn with the triple. And for Blake Griffin, of course, draws fouls in bunches. In fact, last season, around 67% from the free throw line.
A major improvement. He was closer to 50% the year before that. So, you know, he'd like to even get better than 67, but that's serviceable. That's to the point where you're going to make people pay if they foul you. So I like what Griffin has done as far as the improvement is concerned.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
I was able to listen in on what the Nets coach was going over with his team. He told his team to keep looking for three-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out on our shooters. So let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
Now here's Durant. .157 left in the fourth quarter. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Durant. 14 points for Blake Griffin.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
1:53 left here in the fourth quarter. To the inside. Here's Gobert. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Gobert has got 4 points now in the quarter.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Now here's Durant. Kicks to Mills. He dishes it to Griffin. Nets passing it around. To the middle. Here's Claxton. And the powerful one-handed slam. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
You know, quite honestly, Kevin and Steve, I mean, this game, as close as it's been, you really hate to see it come to an end.
I agree.
Well, then let's root for overtime. Why not? Big play on the front end to finish, despite getting hacked, and big on the back end to knock down the free throw.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Oh, yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
Down low, here's Durant. Nice D from Gobert.
Man, excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
Harris dishes to Durant. And a strong finish with two hands. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Nets.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
And Bogdanovich kicks to Conley. It's good from beyond the arc.
And that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
Durant with it. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth. It falls!
And just look at what Durant is doing. My goodness.
Clarkson, guarded by Harris. It's good!
He is setting this place on fire, fellas. His shooting has been off the charts.
Brooklyn's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. "35 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Well, we can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, you got the lead. Burn some clock here.
Smart move.
Yep.
And it's Conley penetrating. Clarkson sinks it.
They do have a foul to give here.
Yeah, you might see them use that at some point. I would.
Mitchell, he's checked in for Utah. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. That doesn't go either for Griffin. And for the Jazz, they're shooting 64%. Beautiful all-around play by this offense.
Well, you do what you have to do to extend this game and try to get the ball back.
In this situation, clock management crucial.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And you can wrap this one up. Great job to stay cool at the line and polish it off.
Mills can't hit, and an intentional foul right there. First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 7-point game. And here's Harden. And so it's Utah with the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win